Now presenting Mr. Mike Coyne, Governor's Hurricane Conference board member representing the National Weather Service.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our next award is the Tropical Meteorology Award. It's presented to an individual or organization that has made outstanding or substantial contributions to the advancement and knowledge, application, or understanding of the hurricane forecasting and warning process in the state of Florida. Since 2004, Mr. Mike Boylan has been educating people about trends, model runs, and everything else tropical weather related through his website. He does not forecast, but his
if you're a YouTuber and you want to save hours
the citizens of Florida and providing tropical
managing your library, you need to, buddy. Come check out how you can edit your end screens, cards, and descriptions of all of your videos with just a click of a button.
Extensive maps,
Go now.
charts, and graphs located on his website, Mike's weather page, aka spaghettimodels.com. The 2021 Tropical Meteorology Award goes to Mike Boylan of Mike's weather page.
Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation. Well, there'll always be some haters. They don't understand. Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend, Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Seen a lot of hellos from places I know. Cape Hayes. I was right where I rode out Ian, Miss Patty Pete. Gary over there from Inglewood, 2 miles in. Man, Inglewood got rocked on that surge, though. Oh, my God. We're going to talk about that. A lot of questions on a new disturbance. We're going to talk about nothing. Meaning there's no stress yet, all right? There's a lot of hype. Heck, I even saw the Daily Mail on TikTok posting a Nadine coming right behind Milton. So there is a lot of buzz out there about something that's not even out there yet. So I don't see anything imminent to worry about. And man, the internet is full of that. I posted a graphic last night, just there could be something, meaning low pressure. Man, hit a nerve with a lot of folks. But man, then I went to bed and I'm scrolling and I saw actual news stations talking about Nadine. Now I know why people are all worked up. So there's really nothing right now, but we're going to get into that. Okay. So we're back home. It's October 11th here in Oldsmar, Florida. What a whirlwind. We only missed one daily brew. There's been a lot happening in a day, 2 days. I'm going to read a lot of comments today. A lot of thank yous. I appreciate that. This is more about y'all. The impacts from not only Helene but now Milton are so far and so wide. Lula, that's not anything to worry about. There's all this hype about something that's not even out there yet. So I get it. Loretta Reed. Well, I try to put out things, there is some modeling saying maybe a low pressure in the Caribbean. Nothing solid. There's always going to be low pressure in the Caribbean. There's always going to be hurricanes. You can't hide. You can't put your head in the sand and pretend it ain't going to happen again. There's always going to be one. We just wait. But right now there's nothing showing. There's a lot of hype about it, but nothing. But we're going to talk about it. Great comment, Deborah Donnelly, 50,000 line, tree cutters. Listen, Fox News one time did an article during Ian on MWP, and the headline said "Neighbors helping neighbors." That was a quote that I had in there back in 2022 about neighbors helping neighbors. That was a headline on front page, Fox News, neighbors helping neighbors. The best part about a natural disaster, hurricane like this, is neighbors helping neighbors. And you're seeing it right now. I guarantee it. You're seeing it right now. It is the most amazing thing. People wanting to help. It's happening everywhere. I did take my boards down, Rebecca. I didn't want to, but I didn't want to clean up my yard. We had a lot of tree damage here. I didn't want to, but I did. And what fired me up to do it was thinking about how worse off so many other people are than just some trees in my yard. Because I saw so much devastation. I don't even know where people begin. National news used neighbors helping neighbors yesterday. Well, we were the first. I always wondered why they picked that headline, but it's true, man. Neighbors helping neighbors. 2022. Maybe that'd be a shirt. Hurricanes, neighbors helping neighbors. That was my quote. So that's a good thing. I got some people mad at me for not talking about that more, but here's the thing. And I need you all to go to bat for me on one thing. I do feel the frustrations of people when I post something about Pinellas. Why aren't you posting about here? I post something about this. You should be posting about that. Well, there's a lot of impacted areas from these storms, okay? That's been the number one. If you listen to our Daily Brew, I will be a little cocky about that. I stress, I think, as much as anybody, if not more, this is a storm that's going to affect more people than just landfall. And it's impossible for me to cover the whole damn United States, okay? And if people get mad, I understand that, and it's okay. But just realize I'm not 24/7 news channel, okay? I'm Mike. One guy. He gets like 5 hours sleep if I'm lucky. And maintain a family, a home, and everything else. So I wish I could. I wish I could drive down to Inglewood right now and see, we're going to talk about that area that got hit with surge. I mean, I wish I could. I want to show the world. I want to go to Anclote right now and show the flooding going on from the river that's peaking right now. There's just so many people. I know folks on the East Coast getting flooded right now. They were flooded yesterday. Still dealing with flooding right now. Water's not going down. Our drains here in Oldsmar, it was the weirdest thing I ever saw yesterday. The water was above the drains. So our water system is pegged. Like, the water has nowhere to go. If the water's above your drainage, you got problems. So my heart feels for everybody. I drive around. One thing I'm glad that I do is I go around more for myself visually, but just try to showcase, and show people just how many people are affected. I mean, it's the news can only cover so much, and I try to at least spread it out, and it's just amazing how many people on this storm in particular had to deal with, so many different impacts. So, but I do appreciate those wanting more, and I understand. Just understand also that it's impossible. We had downpours this morning, DD, in Treasure Coast. Yeah, well, the tail end of the system. Dina K, thank you. Appreciate everybody. Trent Hogg, man, how you doing, buddy? Our lake behind our house is the highest it's ever been. It crossed over into the preserve. Yeah, MJ, people lost everything with those tornadoes. We had Midwest tornadoes here in Florida. When I was saying Midwest, they were like wedge tornadoes. Bradenton's terrible. Port Orange, yes. Melinda, I got friends over there. People flooded in Port Orange near Daytona Beach that were flooded during Ian and Nicole. Who would have thought, right? I mean, so much focus is on the landfall, but we talked a lot about that. So I think one thing every hurricane teaches everybody, including me, is we learn more and more on the messaging and how to message. I hope. I have, at least. Radio station, but I only got a lot of cell phone. This has been the year the cell towers have not done very good with hurricanes. At Helene, they were down. They were down everywhere here in Pinellas County where I was at with Milton. Spanish Lakes, where's that at? New Smyrna Beach, yes. Lori, I got friends there. Edgewater, I got a lot of police friends. Chass over there. Tornadoes are always a big issue. Manatee County. Richard Drago, how you doing, man? Yeah, that's, Shelley got a lot of damage over there in Merritt Island. Parents are good. Thank you for asking. Mom's frustrated. She doesn't understand why the TV doesn't work. She wants her tablet to work. Like, Mom, you got to wait. Everybody was asking about that generator. That's an electric power 0E generator from Furman. It ran my mom almost 24 hours on her oxygen, and it only takes an hour to charge off the generator. It's a miracle. So Dad can charge this is what Dad does. Start the generator, charge the 0E, and refreshes the refrigerator for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. He can turn the generator off. The 0E will run Mom for 10, 12, 15 hours on the oxygen, and he can save gas. He ran the gas all one night. I'm like, Dad, what'd you run the generator for? I'm like, you just ran 4 gallons of gas to power nothing. Shanta going to clean up Bradenton. Starlink Wi-Fi not bad. Starlink's good. Starlink tricky though when you're driving. It likes to lock in on a satellite. Hey Jeffrey, what's up, buddy? I did see the one there in Clewiston, Florida, Indiana Jones. So that's the key. Rough. Very bad. Surge again. Surge was unbelievable. The power. A lot of areas were hit hard from Helene. Joshua, thank you, buddy. Over there on YouTube. No storm next Saturday, Kazoo. That's the big hype. Could be one, but there's nothing that, there's always a could be. You're never going to be wrong tracking hurricanes if you say there might be a storm, but you got to present facts. One model run isn't facts. Oh, Galley, Richard. Ian, all right, I'll tell her. I could tell her. She's just not very tech savvy. No beef jerky, Curtis. Oh, God, if I ate another bag of Doritos and beef jerky. Oh, God, it was awful. The whole day was beef jerky. I love it. I love it. Hey, if I didn't have it, I wouldn't have nothing. That was my fuel. Trust me, there was a few times I was falling asleep and I needed something, and that stuff pepped me right back up. We got a cold front now, Samantha. What's up, Mary Carol, Tiffany? All right, we got some weather to talk about, I guess. Not sure the EF ratings yet. They'd have to be 2 or 3, I would think. Mark Harris, I guess Publixes are open 7 to 7, Julie told me today. I know Chili's is back open, TBBC's back open, ABC's are slowly back and open. Sean, are you watching? So we had 2 meet and greets planned. Yesterday was supposed to be Cocoa Beach, and Wednesday was supposed to be Winter Garden. How ironic, right? I remember texting them before Talladega. I said, you know what, we might have to reschedule our meet and greets. And they're like, what? So we've been talking about Milton for 2 weeks plus. I almost didn't go to Talladega, but anyway. We are going to, Chris, so we're rescheduling our meet and greets. Spaghetti Model IPA, man. We can all hit ABC and tell stories soon, okay? So we're going to have our meet and greets back, Winter Garden and Cocoa Beach, okay? That'll be soon, hopefully. I know everybody's in recovery, so we're going to wait a little bit, but hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll be able to do those again. And it'll even be more special for me because I'll be able to share stories with everybody. And that's one thing with this Neighbors Helping Neighbors is just relating to everybody. Everybody wants to tell their side, you know, and everybody's got impacted. And it's, you know, you put aside differences in politics and family drama, and storms are storms. And, you know, we all come together to talk about weather. And we'll be doing that soon. So I helped out my local ABC here. They didn't know if they had any flood damage in Town and Country. So, hey, Sean, what's up, buddy? So, yeah, our Town and Country ABC is good to go. Town and Country got a lot of rain, too. But let's talk about nothing right now. Luckily, there's nothing to stress about. There's so many videos out there about this Nadine that has got people worked up. I've learned that for whatever reason, everybody's during a storm starts really getting panicky on sometimes a fictitious next one. It's like, it's human nature, like, oh my God, what's next? You know, there's an asteroid coming, we're all going to die. But there's another one after that. Oh, so, hey, we got toilet paper, you're saying, Stacey? That's good. No future hurricanes drowning. Anna Marie, I'm pretty sure they got beat up with the beaches. That's right there, right where that surge came in. Anna Marie, Braden, southward. Such an a weird, odd storm as far as the rain and impact to the north and the winds and the surge to the south. EF3 on the news, Crafty Beach. Where do you get my hat? Well, we're going to order some more, Chris. That was a batch. I think I'm going to do hat. I think I'm going to do Mike's Twitter page, Neighbors Helping Neighbors. That's got to be. That's our quote, man. We're gonna make a shirt. That's my next shirt. with an American flag. Hurricane strong. Neighbors Helping Neighbors. Maybe we'll do a portion of that and go to charity. Find a really good charity to work with over. So every time we get a storm, maybe that'll be what we'll start doing, is selling a shirt and have part of that money going to, you know, well, all of them, you know, big part of the money, because they take their money, but third party t-shirt companies are great, but they make a little more, obviously, because they do the labor. But the sailboat guy, he got more news than anything. Captain Dan, it was everywhere. But I don't know. My opinion on that is a little too much, honestly. You only have X amount of minutes to cover news and coverage. Do you really want to just keep showing one guy when you got so much else going on? You know, there's a lot of people affected, but you only have X amount of minutes. I don't know. He got a lot of airtime. It was all right. It was, you know, it was it was you know, story, but story made the news a lot. Everywhere I looked, that's all I heard about. That's why I want to drive down. You know, I still might. You know, talking to some friends down there, the Inglewood area, how bad it was. I don't think anybody really knows how bad it really was down there, the surge. Oh, now I got to do a Fox at noon today. Live Nation now. All right, Lakeland flooded. Friends, oh man, sister-in-law lost her house, Lake Wales tornado. Hey, Robert Bowman, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Gas situation, very, very, very rare. Scarce, Rebecca. Island time. I don't know anything about North Carolina. I really don't. I don't. I know you're talking about Helene and missing. I don't know. I googled that today. I'm trying to find information if that's what's going on up there. Still, there's this. We get a new hurricane, and then everything switches to that, and it's like Helene is still a big story in the mountains, just a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, prayers go out to all those in a tough situation recovering. I drove to Madeira Beach yesterday and drove around. Did some videos for my truck, and oh man, just seeing the devastation from Helene, and now you got wind damage on top of that. And it's like Skyway looks fine, Lawrence. I think it's back open. Footage on a crane, and that was crazy. We just drove under that crane in St. Pete. Oh, we're getting a spam. What is that? Keys are good. I'm trying to find. I had a good friend, Michael. Who did I used to raise? Michael? There was a friend of mine that lived down there in Inglewood. Oh my God, Amy, you're in Minnesota Beach. Yep, I know exactly where that's at. Yeah, I don't. We'll look at that, Minnesota Beach. Surge is tricky. I do have a surge map I was going to show everybody. Yeah, all the beaches are just got a lot of work to do. I mean, all of Florida West Central. Now, Southwest Florida too now with this surge. So it's crazy. Oh yeah. Oh my God. We're going to do a post too today with all of our, some of our supporters that do tree work and insurance work and generators, and try to keep everybody that needs some help, some windows. So we're going to do a post here. We have, we only have 5 or 6 big supporters we like to push. We don't like to get more than that. Roofs, trees, generators, ABC. Had a little apple JD last night. I didn't mix it with anything. Didn't last long. I always do just one more, and I wake up the next morning with the cup fully full. Does anybody else do that? So half of our liquor that we buy, I only drink half of it because the other half goes down the drain the next morning. No, for years I always get just one more, and then it ends up being one and done. Drywall is on your Christmas list, Gail. Oh, God. No news storm coming, Isabella. That is the number one hot topic on the internet right now. There's nothing on the radar coming anywhere right now. But, yeah, YouTube, we hit 100K. I can't believe it. Mulberry. I know where Mulberry's at. That's around Bartow. A lot of trees down. Trees down everywhere. I will say, everything that we talked about would happen here in our area happened. Trees down everywhere, billboards down, signs down, power lines down, flooding. Every inch of Pinellas County where I live has got signs of Milton, okay? Every inch. I mean, you drive down any road, you're going to see signs of this hurricane. And that's everywhere. But again, I can only cover where I'm at, and this is where I covered yesterday. And it's the same north and south and not west, because that's the Gulf of Mexico, but east. Leslie, what about Leslie? What the hell? Unless you're in the middle of the Atlantic. I didn't see northern lights. I saw black eyelid lights. Need to hit 100K over here. Yeah, Robin, holy cow, we got like a little more than that over there. John's Pass, pretty rough. They just had wind damage. I saw my buddy Dylan Hubbard talking about it. There's wind damage, but no surge. They had a lot of the winds that were coming down north to south kept the Gulf out of the Pinellas County area. Not sure about cruises, Vicky, but hey, if you got an empty cabin, let me come with you. The Rays Stadium thing was crazy. I didn't believe it. No camping, James. No camping. But again, the impacted areas from Florida to Carolina to Tennessee are epic, and every town has a story. Probably every one of you has a story. But what's old Judas sending me here? What you got? What you got? What you got? What you got? Oh, look at that. Was that your picture, Judy? Girls are coming home today and the dogs. Miss my fam. Jake, I believe the weather gods love me. I don't know. It's not fair. We were the only spot in Pinellas that didn't lose power. Oldsmar. Big shout out to Sunbelt. My buddy Aaron had no gas. I wanted to give my dad my last 5 gallons of gas, and I had 53 miles left in my truck. I had barely enough gas pretty much to get to my dad's. But then I had one 5-gallon canister left. I had to get down to the beaches. I made promises to a few folks I'd drive down there yesterday, and then my buddy Aaron was out there at 6:30 in the morning cleaning up. I briefly mentioned to him, hey, I got to figure out gas. He said, hey, let's go to Sunbelt. He's the manager there, and he was able to turn the gas pumps on there because we had power. If we didn't have power there, the gas wouldn't have worked. So it was a miracle. So whoever made that happen, I call my guardian angel Fred. So thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred. The convention center, not sure, Shelly. Hey, did you see the footage from the amphitheater? Oh, the amphitheater got damaged too. Amphitheater lost a big part of the roof. I mean, I know a lot of folks showing the rays, but the amphitheater got big damage too. 100,000, no power in Oldsmobile. I believe it. Oldsmobile. I call it Oldsmobile. Zoom Earth is a great app. I don't know the gentleman's name, but we're friends on X. Good shirt too, Jennifer. Yep. Somebody on YouTube, why you shouldn't come out of the eye. I agree. You can peek out your house, but, remember bad weather's coming in on the backside. Traffic issues, I don't know, but I think, what is it, 511 or something, Shelly? 511 is the... But, yeah, Dennis, oh my God, me and Dennis are becoming best buddies. I have a feeling that when Dennis retires from TV, we're going to end up being partners. Maybe we'll get Paul Delgado to join us. We'll be called the Three Weather Amigos. I'll cover the morning hours so I can go drinking at night because Dennis doesn't drink. We'll high five in the office on my way out. Skeleton, Mandy. Yeah, well, the 12-foot skeleton's coming out. If I get enough energy today, I don't know. I'm feeling. Hey, the pressure. You know what, Juan? I'm glad you brought that up. I have. I might have to connect to it. Last reading was September 27th. Did it not work? No, it worked. Let's see, 10, 11. Oh, I have to go, the sensor's in my truck, so I can't look at it right now. I can look at it above my head, though. I had the pressure reading on my truck when we were going live. I do not wear suspenders, but I should. I wear a belt. No sex system coming up from the Caribbean, vegan. We're going to talk about that in a minute, I promise. Look at that, D over there on YouTube, still without power in Augusta. I know, see, we still have Helene effects. Which model was correct, Hillary? Well, I think the intensity models were awesome. I really do. They were showing that intense rains and winds on the north and the backside. That's kind of why I made that last second decision to go north. I didn't really want to be in that surge. And I knew it was going to be nighttime, and nighttime surge is... I knew the surge was going to be bad in Manatee, Sarasota, southward, but the wind damage was where when we got to that pier. Oh my God! What was my buddy's Jim's video, Tracy? What did he send? I think the model tracks did really good. Francine, hello from Panama City. Long range vision, Chris. I don't see anything I'm confident with right now. No. Yeah, I could tell you what, those winds down at the pier were probably some of the most intense winds I've felt coming in St. Petersburg. I've been in 5 major hurricanes now, so if you thought it was windy in St. Pete and you live in South Pinellas, it was windy. It was very windy. So, all right. Where did the storm exit? A good question, Dean. I don't even know. It was kind of merged with a front. It looked ugly. It was a very sloppy system. The windy null school map would have really showed it good. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the ports. Not even want to talk about insurance. Well, insurance is ridiculous. I don't even know how people can afford it, to tell you the truth. Car insurance more than anything. Hell, my car insurance is the price of a car. I was like, I wish you could self-insure. Yeah, we got a lot of new Brew Crew subscribers. Listen, this is the way it's always been for the last 5 years. If you choose to support us, tip us by being a Brew Crew member, it takes a little time to process. You don't get any information there. You don't get anywhere else. So don't think you're missing out on anything. Hey, what's up, Robin? Don't say Cat 1. Garrett, well, yeah, I can't say that enough. Oh, Port Canaveral is closed. All right, Shelly said it. Port Canaveral is still closed. The Hurricane Howl, Betty? No, it was just... The Hurricane Howl seems like it's a good Cat 2-3. You just get those upper-level winds. And you saw it on that one video I did. You could see those clouds. And so I was looking south in St. Pete, and you could see those clouds coming down, which indicates the eye was south of us because the winds are coming east to west. Another storm after Milton. Man, everybody's worried about this other storm that ain't out there. David, good. Hey, might be the way to go, man. I might need to look into that. No, Nadine, what is going on with all this hype about another system? Mary, hey, I got hurricane hair. I got to text my girl Irene. What's my favorite drink? What kind of drink? Coffee in the morning. I love Gatorade Zero. I love coffee. I love Gatorade Zero. I love Diet Mountain Dew. Those are my go-tos. And then when it comes to adult time, I love a good IPA and a little JD. I like a little margarita now and then. Not one margarita, not two margarita, but 3 margaritas and a shot. Our house did okay, Danielle. We were so lucky. I feel so bad for everybody. I turned the corner, and my neighbor across the street lost a huge tree. It landed right on his house. Pete and Kathy, I hope there's no house damage. We had a huge tree in the back going the road. Our back pond flooded to the back. I've never seen it that high. We were fortunate, Like I said, hurricanes change lives, and a lot of cleanup. Lots of cleanup, man. So it puts things in perspective, I was thinking about washing my car today, and I'm like, does it really matter compared to what everybody else is dealing with? Hope we're done this season, Melissa, but I'm not 100% sure we're done yet. Thank you, Jesse. It was a scary night. Water rise, it depends. The Anclote River is peaked this morning. Thank you, Jacob. All right, let's talk. I got a few things I want to show you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Tina. Might do a few margarita shots. Look at no name. Someone posted Nadine going the same path as Helene. God, I know, man. It's just. And then I get blasted for showing spaghetti models on Invest 94. Do you know we have people that follow us in Caribbean and in Bermuda? I mean, most of the comments that are hateful to me, they're like, we don't need another one. Well, who's we? Because we could mean Virgin Islands or Barbados or the Turks and Caicos or Bermuda. I mean, Mike's weather page is not your hometown weather page. I like it to be everybody's hometown weather page, but you got to remember sometimes that I'm covering tropics, and tropics cover more than just our little towns, So I'm not doing it to hype. I'm doing it to say, hey, it could be a system near in the Caribbean, maybe. Maybe it might be, near in Bermuda. Hell, we got people in the Azores that watch us. So, all right. So I got some links up I want to show you. Then we'll say hello a little bit again at the end. So this is the tropics. Then let's talk a little bit about Milton. I don't even know what I picked a few graphics here I want to show. I don't even know what I picked. Here's the radar. So Brian McNulty puts these together. I should have let this run the whole time. This is what it looked like. So I wish I could stop an animated GIF. I don't think I can stop it. But anyway, let's focus on all the impacts first, okay? First off, those little red things. Those are tornado warnings. Tornado warnings are always big on feeder bands as a storm approaches, and we saw tons of those. I'll show you another graphic. But look at those tornadoes everywhere. I mean, there was a one-time 15-20 at one time in I-4 South. So that was story number one. Story number two was all that rain. All that rain to the north side just came around and it just came across that whole I-4 corridor. Inland flooding is real, sometimes the biggest story of all. And unfortunately, we had people flooded coast to coast. Of course, the surge on the backside is a big story we're going to talk about. Surge on center south side, always a huge story. Even though there wasn't a lot of rain, we still had surge. So 3 huge impacts that are always with with always hurricanes: tornadoes, inland, and coastal impacts. And then on exit, all those storms started, north side, dirty side, got up there into northern Florida into Georgia. So that was a lot of impacts for just one person. It was a whole statewide, southeast-wide storm. Now, luckily, it weakened some. They get mingled in with these fronts and bring down dry air. Most times, these late-season hurricanes, look outside, man. We got blue sky and cool air, right? It is the weirdest thing. Most of the time living in the South or Florida specifically, when you get a hurricane like this end of the year, man, it's like you're guaranteed the next morning is going to be cool and dry. And that's kind of Mother Nature being funny, because now you have no power. But guess what? We'll take away the heat just so it's not so bad. So you got that to be thankful for. My mom and dad had the windows open yesterday. It was 78 in Pinellas County, man. It was awesome. We didn't even feel that bad in the house. So you got that. Here's a zoomed in area if you want to see it a little more closer. We'll let this play a couple times. This is more landfall. Kind of showing you that little jiggle to the north and the eventual wiggle wobble back northeast again. And the eye went pretty much over Sarasota with these big surges to the south and north. But we're going to talk about surge here in a second. Current power outages. Now, this is a little shocking to me. Sometimes we get hurricanes and the power outages are big, and then the next day they're almost gone. But look at, and that was Florida for Helene. Power outages didn't last very long for Florida for Helene. We didn't have a lot of people, population areas that were hit from Helene. We had a lot of population that was hit with Milton. So as we are now, almost 2 days going here, we got 2.5 million without power. Now, North Carolina, this is still left over from Helene, 51,000. Georgia, 25,000. So there's, but Florida still 2.5 million right now. There's a lot of work to be done in Florida. Hopefully you got your Furman. These are big numbers for day almost two days after. Freezing in Daytona. Sarah, you evacuated? I would say if it was me, I'd come home. Florida's open. I got the girls coming home today. Probably could have come home yesterday, but nah. Connie, yeah, the tornadoes were massive. All right, so there's big power. Here's the rain. Oh my God, it rained. All right, so we had unbelievable rain. I was in South Pinellas we could not get out. Like every road in South Pinellas was like flooding to the point of 2, 3, 4 foot with floodwaters, and it was getting a little scary, I will admit. We were running out of roads to get out. We were on the beach. The beach didn't have surge, but the beach had rain flooding too, and the roads were getting really heavy out on the beach. I drove down, went around the Don Cesar. We went around there and went north, and I cut back south of John's Pass because it was getting bad on the beaches with flooding. But then we got stuck, and then we finally got out, and then I started getting texts from the Rays game. You know, I thought the first text about the Rays stadium was like the shark in the middle of the road, right? And I'm like, there ain't no way. I'm like, that's fake. It wasn't fake. It was crazy. It was the most. Just everybody out there just staring, looking at this thing. Like all the apartments across the street, everybody was just out looking. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. It still had the neon lights inside, and it just didn't even look real. Like it didn't look like it. I've been going to Rays 20 plus years. I'm like, then that crane, it was awful. But anyway, the flooding was massive. Areas in pink and purple, over 20 inches. Red across the state, a foot up to 16 inches, all the way coast to coast. So that was the north side. Was crazy rain, tons of flooding. Rivers are rising. Speaking of rivers, I got some panic going on in Pasco last night. My buddy Joe, hopefully it's going down, but there was some evacuations going on with the Anclote River. It should have peaked last night, so hopefully it's going to start going down. But we have about 15 rivers in the flood stages here in Florida, purple, because of the water now having nowhere to go. That's basically what happens. We'll just load here. So we got 12 now. But all these purples are rivers in flood stages, obviously. So it's a lot to keep up with. I can't. But we're going to click on Anclote just because I had people living there that text me. And it should be going down. It should have peaked. So it should be starting to go down. If you're in the Anclote River, it should be going down. So Cypress Creek's another one they're concerned about. It's supposed to peak at 15. It might be a record. Cypress Creek up at 54. So that one's the one they're watching. It's not crested yet. It's going to crest not until the 15th. That's what's so weird about these river floods. It takes time for all the water to reach the rivers, and then the rivers start to rise. The river rise sometimes days after a hurricane. Hillsborough River, supposed to peak at 37 tomorrow. State Park, Zephyr Hills. It's going to be a record. Wow. So we got some record river levels. This is going to be 17 foot here in Zephyr Hills State Park. That could be issues around that area. Here's the Alafia River. It's going to peak near record, 25.5. I'm sure we got some St. John rivers going on here. We got, we're going to crest 5.8. Little Weekavee River. So all these rivers here, obviously where the flooding was, are going to be cresting in the next several days. I have this on my site here if you're curious. This river forecast and observations right there. You can take a look at it. Getting tired again. All right, rainfall, tornado counts. There they are. That's this. It was a record day. The highest day of tornadoes warnings for Florida in history. We had 126, according to this map, 126 tornado warnings. Whether or not they are verified, but I also heard most verified, meaning a record day of actual tornadoes too. We can go back here to the Storm Prediction Center and go back, take a look. So they're showing 45 confirmed, and they still investigate. So that is massive, man. 45 confirmed tornadoes. That is unbelievable to have 45 confirmed, and they're still doing their data. Could be more. Large wind reports is basically hurricane force winds or greater. That's just unheard of, man. 45 as of now. 48 wind reports. 20 high, which is hurricane force winds. So on top of 45 tornadoes, we had 20 hurricane force wind gusts reported. So, crazy. All right, Surge. Let's talk about Surge. Surge. This is my only beef with anything prediction-wise is Surge. We're going to talk about nothing. There's nothing in the tropics to be worried about. We'll talk about it. Oh, there's so much panic out there. I don't want to steal Dennis's Rule 7, but I need to come up with the same one. If I'm putting out the 12-foot skeleton, that means I'm confident right now we're good. Surge. Now listen, if you follow me, we've talked about Surge we talk about Surge as much as anybody, if not more. Trust me. I'm a big Surge guy. I love talking about Surge, theorizing Surge, explaining Surge. This is the map that we all shared because it's official, right? Dennis and I talk about this all the time on the phone. They don't tell you it's a worst case scenario. They tell you it's the forecast. So it makes it seem like it's going to happen. But the south side of a storm gets the surge, not the north side. And I'm sure this is built on the cone. And the cone, we don't do a marker here, but the cone, you have to put the worst case, I guess. But it needs to be on here, worst case based on track, because I appreciate, I understand, but the number one comment is you blew the surge forecast for Tampa Bay. And I'm like, well, but if you listen to our shows, we didn't, because we talked about this all the time. Okay, I show this. Is anybody watching from Sierra? Because they email me, and I need to get more personal level. We should set up a phone call because they've been followers of our page for a long time. And this is a forecast map for Milton back when it was way down here on October 9th. In fact, let's go to the 19th advisory here. So this was the Sierra map based on the current track. Okay. And it's real. Hurricanes spin counterclockwise. Winds that were blowing, those massive waves that I was showing, that red arrow is where I was at. Those waves were coming across Tampa Bay in a short span. Like those waves crashing into the St. Pete Pier were only formed from Tampa to St. Pete from a strong east-west wind. That was probably the most amazing thing I've ever seen in hurricanes so far of me chasing hurricanes. Were the size of those waves crashing into St. Petersburg, knowing that they only had a few miles to get going from these unbelievable winds in Tampa Bay, but they were pushing east to west. So there was really no way they were going to get surged north of center. Now, south of center, always. And this is the storyline, okay? This is what we need to talk more about, is the surge way south of center is always bad. That's because your widening winds come in. So look at Rotunda West. Minnesota, Inglewood, they got really bad surge. They were way away from center. Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, Cape Coral, they got surge, but these areas were really hit hard. Very hard. Boca Grande, very bad surge. This is where I want to go. They're cut off from their Boca Grande is separated right now. And apparently there's no water out there. All the water lines got cut. This has become its own little island. But look how far away it was from center. Because these winds rotate. And that's the story. Is that unexpected surge south of center. But these maps here do a great job, at least, showing you that. But my only beef with the National Hurricane Center is we got to get something better than this, because so many people don't understand. Let me tell you a real life story that happened. I love talking to people. Sarah says I talk a lot. And Emily always laughs at me. She's like, they want to go, Dad, but you keep talking. I just keep talking. Met a couple here in Oldsmar. I've shared this before, but they were flooded with Helene. 2 weeks ago. Helene. And their reasoning was Ian had a map similar to this, because at one time it was expected to go to our north, and we were predicted to have surge like 2 days before Ian hit. And the reasoning that they didn't evacuate and they didn't think anything was going to happen was because this map showed Tampa Bay 4, 6, 7, 8, whatever it showed. And they're like, well, it didn't happen then, so we just figured it wasn't going to happen now. So I totally understood that. I'm like, yeah. So people here in Clearwater see this peak storm forecast, and you got nothing. The next time it says 8 to 12, what are you going to do? Are you going to say, well, we didn't get it last time, we're not going to get it this time? So this has to me, there's nothing in this value that says, nothing in this thing says pending on track. It says could reach, but it needs to say something about the track, because too much confusion to the general public. I could totally agree. It's very confusing, but we do share the Sierra map a lot if you follow me. So I just, you have to share the official maps. But this is reality. This is what happened. The water went the other way. And we had, unfortunately, the big surge to the south. And what really hits home for me is this, selfishly, but we rode out Ian right here at the Publix, somewhere around here. Oh, I like that. Cape Hayes Tavern. Why is it not showing up here? Where the hell is it? We were Cape Hayes. There's a UPS store. It's got to be in that shopping center right there. Mobile, there it is. So there's our infamous gas station that we hung out at. There's the Publix right here. But we were just down there 2 years ago for Ian. And now these areas were absolutely blasted with surge. Minnesota, Key, Boca Grande, Inglewood, northward. But this area was not expecting that, I don't believe. The tone that I'm getting here is like, wow. And that's that water that was being pushed 60-foot seas from the Euro, even though our storm was weakening. It's still pushing all that water. We got to eliminate the word weakening when it comes to hurricane coverage. All right, let's talk about the tropics. Gas anywhere. The only gas that I know of, Andrea, there's a few on Tampa Road in West Tampa. I don't know anywhere else. Bucks Stadium, I think, was okay. Boca Grande. Okay. I always... It wouldn't be a hurricane if I didn't mess up somebody's hometown name. Boca Grande. Excuse me. All right, that'll be the name. We need to come up with a list, Shelly, of all the towns that I completely mess up. Raleigh, Durham was one of them years ago. See ya, Cindy. Thank you, Nikki G. J. And, of course, last-minute Wiggles. So, here's Tropics map. 7 days. We don't have anything. Leslie's going this way. This is 94. We'll talk about 94. NAC has it doing that. Spaghetti models have it more doing that, but that's it. There's nothing down here in the next 7 days. There's no Nadine. There's no reason to stress right now, or maybe the rest of the year, hopefully. No reason not to go buy some mums, which I'm going to buy today. I love mums. They don't last. Chris, that's a small bucket list, man. I think you can do better than that. Chris Campbell. Mum's a word. Bridget, good question. Why do we get big tornadoes? Well, one was the dry air. We had a lot of jet stream influence with the front line coming down. Nobody really knows. They can never predict this stuff. But these cells were isolated. You got to have isolated. You got to have instability in the atmosphere. So what we saw was these isolated little cells that normally you see in the Midwest. Oh, we got an MP4. Hang on a minute. We can stop it. Awesome. Wait a minute. It's not playing. Play. Let's try it again. It's stuck. It's not working. Damn it. Didn't load right. All right. So we got no MP4. But notice these tiny little cells. They're all individual little supercells. So for whatever reason, they got enough dry air to keep them isolated into little supercells. When you get a lot of rain-cooled feeder bands, a lot of times you don't have the isolate. You have the little EF0 spin-ups. But these are actually isolated little supercells that started showing up early in the day. And I remember we saw them down here in radar scope. They were actually little clusters of individualized, and they all end up being their own little system. So the radar kind of indicated early in the day that we're going to see some potentials for these little isolated supercells that came up. And that's indeed what happened. I don't think anybody predicted that to happen, but that possibility is always there. And it's because we had some dry air wrapping around the backside, which kept these things kind of isolated. Once the atmosphere cools down a little bit and stabilizes. So it's just isolated. All right, so we do have this that got posted. Low chances. This is a chart map, less than 20%. Here and here. This is just history. They're just going off history. This is the areas to watch until the end of the month. So not saying that there's anything imminent. There's nothing. Usually what we've been seeing with this map, once we get that, there's a really good shot that we have something. So this doesn't mean other than climatology says we got maybe these two areas left to watch before we get to Halloween. Now, remember we had Sandy. We had other storms late October. Doesn't mean it can't happen. So Invest 94 spaghetti models, though. Let's do a refresh. 12Z it hasn't come out yet. That's weird. Maybe it's because it's not a true Invest. But anyway, these are the initial models. These are your Cape Verde Islands, so it's way in the Atlantic. Nothing to stress about. Long range looking here in the tropics. This is a 15-day tropics map. What is that? Oh my God. Well, first off, Invest 94 staying gray. Okay, look at gray, higher than 1,005 millibar. So this is a good chart up here. That's pressure. Here's Leslie. Here's leftover Milton. What is Milton doing though for Bermuda real quick? Milton's smack dab over Bermuda right now. A little bit of rain. Well, how did I get this? I didn't want that. Huh. But anyway, there's rain and I see you get a little bit of action. Laura, are you watching? A little bit. We talked about that last week. It's really disorganized now. It's going to pass to your south, so they're not getting anything. It's all merged with a frontal line now. They might get a little rain later throughout the day today. But long range looking, few little things popping down here. Look, there's one spaghetti model into Florida out of 51. This is the Euro. It does show Invest 94 staying weak, and then maybe a couple of them develop it down the road here. You start to see a few blue ones. You see a lot of curving. You see a couple down here. This is low confidence. Low. But it's enough to say, hey, maybe there's something to work. But nothing to get worked up about. This is 15 days. Oh my God, things change so much in 15 days. This is the map showing you tropical depression formation, and it is saying we could see something out of Invest 94 down the road. This is October 17th. We've had this area yesterday that this is the one everybody was claiming was going to do that, but there's no models that are consistently showing that. So weak signature by the Euro here for anything middle October. This is Invest 94. So, that's next week. Maybe a little spot down here, maybe a spot here. MJO phase starts to mean a little. We got a lot of sinking air, which is good. That means could help slow development of anything. Green is like green tropical systems like yellow. They don't. Let's look at individual models. Oh my God, it's been an hour already. So let's try to keep it an hour. Let me show you all the models here. TropicalTidbits.com. We're going to look at the last 4 runs of the GFS, and there's that spot everybody's been hyping up, the 17th, 18th, and this time it goes to the Yucatan. I mean, there you go. Here's our little spot. So here's Invest 94, kind of getting the picture. This is the 17th. There's what's been being hyped, but this run, it doesn't really do much. It goes into Belize maybe, but it's so weird looking. It's nothing. So there's nothing on that run. How about that? And last night, 00Z, there it is again, October 17th. But it goes into Mexico. Here's Invest 94, maybe going north. So this is very low confidence on anything right now. 18Z GFS. So the last 3 runs of the GFS, it tries to develop something, but it keeps it going into Central America. Invest 94, maybe some rains. I don't know. There's nothing there. Skeleton time. Here's the 12Z yesterday. This is the one maybe some people shared. I don't know. That's like 384 hours. So the bottom line, the reason I shared the Euro yesterday, around the 17th, there are some models showing something popping there. So nothing at all organized. Latest Euro overnight. Here's Invest 94. We're on the 18th, maybe close to the islands. Could be keeping an eye on this a week down the road. But notice nothing down here. This is 10 days out. Euro AI, let's look at the last GFS too. So the last GFS weak low pressure here, this is the 20th. So again, around the 17th, we could see a little something, trying to get going down here, but nothing solid at all. Euro AI, let's take a look at that. Here's the 15th. Here's 94. Nothing. 94 on the 19th. Nothing. I don't know. There's nothing for a major news organization to say Nadine's coming. I don't know where the hell they get that off of. The Canadian around the 17th here. We got maybe a little low pressure. There's 94. I think the only thing that could be tricky would be 94. Doing something like that. This is looking weird. I don't know if I see that or not. So it is bringing 94 a little north of the islands, and there's a huge high pressure building in here. It's driving it this way. So Could be something to watch. And then that's it. All right, let's look at KMA in the UK. KMA is a pretty weird model. Sometimes it seems like it's right 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 4. Let's see, pressures. Yeah, see, I didn't have to look at timestamps. Here we go. So there's 17, 18, 19, something getting over there and then popping to the north. Here's the 17th. So if we were to have anything around the 17th, it would be here and here. 94 on the KMA kind of pulls it north. So I mean, you know, I think 94 would definitely be one that the upper level steering maps are kind of favoring it, kind of going that direction. Let's look at some GFS ensembles. So there's quite a few GFS ensembles, definitely showing the Caribbean, but that's interesting. Possibilities. Well, we know 17th. That's all we got to know. 17th. That's why I posted it yesterday. If you know I have a method to my madness, it's when it's time to mention there might be a chance of something to watch, then I post it. So it's around the 17th. Whether or not we get anything or not, we'll see. So, not worried about it right now. Don't see enough consistency with it yet at all. So, but that's why I posted last night. 17th, 94, and whatever. So, hey. Can't stress about something that's not even there yet. Just be aware. And that's just one run of the GFS. What was the 00Z here? See, there's only 3. I mean, 0Z data is a little better than 6Z, but like, so here's, 1, 2, 3. There's only 3. 3 out of 31. So do your math. What is that? What percentage is that? 3%? Shelly, dig out your calculator. Javier, thank you. Is that 3.1%? I don't know. There's one coming. Tia, no, there's not one coming. There's not one. There's always one coming. These don't win. Decorate for Halloween, Shelly. Megan, golf temps should start dropping soon. We get mainly the golf temps drop because the sun angle changes. Shelly, where's your percentage? Oh, it's 10%. No, 10% would be 10, wouldn't it? No, that'd be 25. Okay, 10%. I went to school, Barry. God darn it. All right. So we got 10%. Now, figure the euro says 0%, so then we got to go. So now we got to go 10%. So we got to do this. All right. So here, let's do it this way. Let's do it a better way. Let's go to the GFS. Let's do it this way. Here, hold on. All right, so here's the GFS. There's 1. Okay, there's 1. All right, so here, math whiz. Let's do this. All right, so now we got 31 plus 51 divided by 4. What are the chances? 50 degrees, Kathy. I know. Somebody said it was 40 somewhere up there. Shelly, you're doing pretty good for no internet. Oh, thank you, DJ. Peter. No storm coming next week. Where is all this panic coming from a storm next week? 5%, Juan. Is that correct? 31 plus 51 divided by 4. So we have a 5% chance. 4.8%. I like those chances, Megan. So not only do we talk weather here on the Daily Brew, we talk weather or math. Tia, thanks. I'm pretty careful. Sheena, I think you got my math. Shania, did you do bad in math? See all you people out there, listen. No. See, that's wrong. It's not 20%. See, now this is the time old question. It can't be 20%. If it was 10% for 3 into 31, how can it be 20% when you have more numbers on top? Now, wait a minute. We have no hope, America. Because we all took college and high school and we can't figure out this math equation. Let's stick to tropics. Come on. What is that? It's got to be simpler than that. Now you're making me dig out my calculator. $31 plus 51. I got to get the plywood away. And then I'm going to take a nap. Divided by 4. 20%. That ain't right. You have 82 members, and you only have 4 of them. How can that be 20%? 20% would be 20 members. How can it be 20%? How could 31 divided by 3 be 10%? See, where's all you math raisers? Listen, no, it's not. Here's the thing. All right, so listen, here's what I'm talking about. Something's not right. I did good in school. We have 31 GFS members, okay? Out of those 31, 3 are showing something coming up. We have 51 Euro members, and out of those 51, we only have 1. Now, how can that be 20%? What am I doing wrong? All right, do we do this? All right, so do we do this? All right, so maybe this is why I don't understand math. All right, so 31 by 3. So now we have 10.3% on the GFS. And then on the Euro, we have how do you divide 51 by 1? I keep getting 51. 1? 50. Wait a minute. Now how the hell do you 1 divided by 51. Is that right? 0.09%? Is that right? Is that right? 0.019? So 1% chance? Now 3 divided by 39 is 9%. Oh, see, it's not that. Okay, so it's 9%. Is that right? No. Oh, wait a minute. 151. So 0.04. So 1 in 51 is 5% chance. All right, listen. We got 31 members of the GFS. 3 say yes. 51 members of the Euro, and 1 says yes. What I was thinking we do is add up all the ensembles. So we have 82 ensembles. Out of those 82, 4 say yes. So what are those percentages? Do we divide 4 into 82? That's got to be what it is. It's 4.8%. That's what it is, right? Is that correct? We have a 4.8% chance. Is that right? Barry, look at that. Google AI wins. We all go to school so we can use Google. When I thought I was going to be... See, Sheena, you need to stick to not math either. Everybody's getting different numbers, man. So we have a 4.8% chance of something coming up from the Caribbean. That's what I got, Sheena, but I think it's the other way around. You got to do 4 divided by 82. I know what this means. Ask Julie. Ask Julie what just one more means. Or no, how about greater than 2? How do you draw greater than 2? Is it like this? So this would be a shirt. Just one more equals greater than 2. Is that right? Anyway. Just one more. All right. Oh, Lord have mercy. I can't believe it's been 10:30 already. All right. So hope you watched this from the beginning. I shared some personal thoughts early on. Just can't believe we've been doing this for 20 years together. So timing on the Fox and CNN post might have been a little rough or frustrating, or some didn't like it, but I thought it was important because we have... I'm going to swallow wrong. Hang on. Yeah, I won't use math and hurricanes, Courtney. Hang on a minute. I got a cough. Guess I could have hit the mute, but man, we got so much water in our back. We got an alligator back there. He doesn't even know where to go. He's like in our backyard. But I wanted to share the CNN Fox thing last night for a lot of reasons, because we have a lot of followers since 2004, and I feel like we've all come a long way together, and it's more about us. I always make sure they put Mike's Weather page on there because, when you guys see it, you get excited too. So it's kind of like we're on TV together. That's the point of it. Like, because you all make me, like, this is what I love to do. And when I meet everybody outside, of my desk here, it's even makes it more fulfilling. So it's, those kind of posts are meant for all of us. Like, hey, look, because y'all help each other, man. Everybody, I read the comments, man. People ask questions. You all are the first ones to help. We all learn together. We all learn how to message together. We all learn how to, help each other. So it's pretty cool. I have an alligator. We do, Elizabeth. We just had an alligator that had babies. There was like 20, 30 of them out there. I looked out there one day. I thought there was a snake, and I walk out there, and all these little things start running through the grass, and then they start making this funny little noise. Wee, wee, wee. Like 20 little baby alligators crying for their mom. And here comes mom. Doo-doo-doo-doo. And I'm like, oh, I think it's time to get back in the house. They were cute, though. They're gone now. I don't know where they all go. Hopefully we won't have 20 of them showing up tomorrow. So, all right, well, neighbors helping neighbors. Listen, it's going to be a rough weekend for a lot of y'all cleaning up. I understand. Most places are back open again. Support your mom and pop little restaurants. TBBC for sure, Tampa Bay Brewing Company here in the area. They're going to open up today. So if you're thinking about going somewhere, support David and Wendy's family there, and wherever you go, corporate too, but servers need money too, but the businesses need to stay open. So definitely support local during these times. Helps everybody get back on their feet. And we'll see you Monday for sure. All right. Hopefully I can take a weekend off without looking at weather, but you know me. There'll be a post in 10 minutes, right? All right. So that's it. Have a great day. I can't believe we went an hour. We did. So